Hey, what's up everyone? This is Fahjah, and today we're going to go through my track Hooyah with Chyl out on Denmark. As usual, we're going to try and speedrun this one, so let's jump right into it. So to start off, we're going to go to the percussion. I have Chyl's kick and claps in here. I just fattened it up a little bit, added some OTT and SPL Attacker Plus to just give it a bit more of a attack to it. And then shaped it a little bit with LFO tool. So added in these hats that I love using. I believe these are actually all percussion from Panda's Speed House Movement family pack, so be sure to go check those out. Now moving on to the main element of the track, we're gonna go to the bass line. I pulled up this patch, I believe it was from Splice, but I modified it a little bit. And then most importantly, I did a bunch of processing on it. So threw this onto a channel, had OTT, Decapitator, SPL Attacker Plus, Blood Overdrive, and SiQ is one of the most important parts. It boosts the high frequencies really well. It sounds great. And a bit of EQing and parallel compression. I actually do parallel compression with Sausage Fattener a lot. I love it. And then I put that into mono so that there's a nice mono signal going on. Then I throw on reverb onto another channel. Now back then I was doing some pretty steep cuts like this, brick walls. I don't recommend doing that anymore though. Apparently it can create some weird resonant frequencies, so try to not do that. And on the final channel, I have Sausage Fattener, Vitamin Stereo just to boost up some of the mids, make it kind of sound nice. And then Side Widener, it adds stereo width without causing any phasing issues. Next, moving on to the white noise channel, which I added just to give some little sparkle on top. This has a bit of EQ and then soothe to really tame some of those frequencies. Again, some steep brick wall cuts. I probably wouldn't do that again, as I mentioned. For the sub, I threw in this 3X oscillator sub. It's a mix of a sine wave and a square wave. I think I just did that because it sounded best. I boost the frequency of the note that the root of the key is playing. Check a note to frequency chart if you are trying to figure out which note to do. Sausage Fattener, Camel Crusher, OTT, cut out, upper bass. MJUC I often use just to control the volumes. The compressor is pretty great. Moving on, I add a lot of random little shots and things like that. I have these one shots that I use in pretty much all my tracks, like this. And I love using the wets. So you can see this. This one too is like in so many of my tracks. I often use the same samples just to kind of add up my own sound to everything. And then of course, gotta add in some memes. Next, we're gonna move on to the second drop. So for the bass line, I believe this is actually a sample from Alert's sample pack. He has some great donk basses. Then I just EQ'd the low end out of it and then added in that same kind of sub layer, but this one has a bit of a slightly different processing, I believe. You want to separate that sub and that bass layer so you get like really nice clean sounds. I don't always do that, but for this one I did. Then next onto my signature lead that I love using, it's like these bleepy kind of noises. It just sounds great on Hard House. This was actually a Casimir patch that I messed with a whole bunch. And then I put that onto a channel, some EQ, OTT, Sausage Fattener. I love using Echo Boy, some soothe at the end. And Chyl added in this kind of like respace on top that just adds a bit of texture onto the drop. So I just EQ'd that a bit, added a bit of soothe again. Next, we'll move on to the breakdown really quick. So the breakdown are just rave stabs that I use from Rave Generator, which is an awesome VST that I'm sure everyone's heard of. I layered these two stabs together that I love using in several of my tracks. Did the same sort of processing chain I do with everything else. OTT, Sausage Fattener, Echo Boy, Soothe, all of that. EQ it, and you got those stabs. So let's give this a playthrough.
Are you ready?
So that's basically it. If there's anything you want me to go over again, just let me know in the comments below. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all of that, and I'll see you in the next video.